Welcome, everyone. Today, we are going to introduce the concept of writing, and we are going to look at a number of critical issues that will make you a better academic writer or a better writer at your workplace. Now, writing is a crucial part of a student's academic journey. Much of a student's success depends on how well they can express their ideas in writing. Writing does not begin with typing, it begins with thinking. So, planning your communication will ensure that you get better results. Let's begin by understanding the concept of knowing your audience and having a clear purpose. Knowing your audience is simply where you ask yourself, who am I writing for? Am I writing for a technical audience? Am I writing for lay people? Or am I writing for a mixed audience? What is purpose? The question we are asking here is, why are you writing what you are writing? You write to inform. For example, a lab report explains findings. You can write to persuade, such as a debate which convinces readers to recycle, for example, plastic. You can write to entertain. For example, a short story will make someone laugh, cry, or even do both. In addition to knowing your audience and having a clear purpose, you should also assess the expectations of your audience. Readers have demands, even if they don't say these demands out loud. Your duty as a writer is to anticipate these demands. For example, a professor will expect cited evidence. A business client expects solutions to their problems. If you're writing a business proposal, your audience expects a cost-benefit analysis, not just creative ideas. A friend will expect honesty from an email. Once you have assessed your audience, you need to choose a strategy of how you're going to develop your argument. Picking a strategy simply refers to choosing an organizational pattern. That is how you are going to package your information. There are a number of organizational patterns that one can choose. For example, you can choose the chronological pattern where you are listing things in the order in which they occur. You can use the cause and effect method where you are saying, for example, pollution causes climate change, which causes extreme weather, and so on. You can use the compare and contrast method. You can use the problem solution method. You can use the description method. So you need to choose an organizational pattern or a writing strategy that is relevant and aligns with the topic and the audience. Next, develop a thesis statement. Now, a thesis statement is the central idea of your essay. Every paragraph should support the thesis statement. Paragraphs must be loaded with data, evidence, facts, which support a thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the backbone of your essay. Every paragraph, I repeat, should support it. For example, social media impacts students' productivity. You can have a topic sentence which supports this thesis and says, social media distracts students during study hours. A supporting detail to this would be, a survey shows that students spend only 3 hours studying per day and 9 hours on TikTok. That's a supporting detail. So in general, what does the writing process look like? So writing can be broken down into 5 stages. The first one is pre-writing. Now, pre-writing is the brainstorming stage. This is where you gather ideas through research, through discussions, through your library work, and you make lists or cluster the information that you find into categories. For example, if you're writing about climate change, you might cluster information into causes, into effects, and solutions. Now, brainstorming is like making popcorn. You throw in enough kernels, all the kernels that you can find, and they fit in that particular pot, and something good will pop out of it. So it's good to brainstorm, to list as many ideas as you can before you can cluster them into categories for ease of reference. Number 2 is drafting stage. This is where you organize your clustered ideas into an outline. You can use a topic outline or a sentence outline. Each cluster of ideas or information becomes a topic sentence. For example, under effects of climate change, your topic sentence might be rising global temperatures lead to extreme weather events. The next stage is the composing stage. This is where you turn your outline into full paragraphs. You add supporting details such as statistics, examples, or narratives. And this is where your essay takes shape. In your composing stage, you're going to have your thesis statement, which is the main idea of the essay, topic sentences, which support the main idea. You will have sufficient support in the form of statistics, citations, examples, and so on. You will have transitional markers. These transitional markers show coherence. If an essay is coherent, all the sentences and paragraphs relate to the one before it and to the ones after it. Transitional markers are linking words such as however, for example, in other words, next, first, second, and so on. Unity is another critical aspect of this stage. Stick to the subject. All sentences should provide support, address the topic sentences, and relate to the thesis statement, the main idea. One thing that students ignore is editing and proofreading. When you're editing, check the following. Number 1, check to see that the essay fits the thesis. Number 2, make sure each paragraph has a topic sentence. Number 3, make sure there are smooth transitions between paragraphs. Number 4, check for digressions from the main argument. Number 5, do you have sufficient support in all the paragraphs? Number 6, do you have an introduction and a conclusion? This is what you look for when you're editing. When you're proofreading, check your spelling, your punctuation, your grammar. In conclusion, writing is more than putting words on paper. It is a process of planning, structuring, and refining. And it can help you to get better results in terms of the mark or even a good review from people who are going to read your work. If you plan well, your reader or your readers will come back to you for more.